Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. Welcome back, everybody. So, lots of data coming out next week, starting with Tuesday morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have PPI data, and then Wednesday morning, we also have CPI and lots of Fed speaker also speaking next week. And that's going to cause lots of volatility here in this market, which could be a massive opportunity for retail traders and investors. With that being said, we got Dow Jones going down Friday 1.63%. Nasdaq going down 1.63% also, S&P down 1.54%, and Russell down the most 2.20%. Here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500, and you can see for the week and even on Friday, leading the way on top, energy and pretty much every other sector in deep red, and especially financial, real estate, technology, consumer defensive, industrials, and consumer cyclical, communication services taking a massive hit on Friday. Week to date performance last week, well, it was led by energy, healthcare, and basic materials. So definitely it was a risk off move here in the market last week, and that's why we saw that sell off. Stock market map, what we got here, you can see Apple down 2.41% Friday, Google down 1%, Amazon down almost 1.5%, Microsoft going down 1.32%, Nvidia down 3%, and big banks all are down on the day. We got some names that are green. We got Meta up 0.84%, Tesla flat. We got Eli Lilly going up 1.61%, and consumer defensive, we got Costco going up 1% and Walmart also rallying 1.31%. So quickly, let's talk about last Friday. What happened last Friday? Market was gapping down pre-market, and then soon as the data came out, unemployment rate even went lower on Friday, and that just sent this market even lower. And you can see that is technically a lower low here in this market, taking out this low and this low down here, and coming down to where, guys? Exactly down to 503. Now I took two trades right here on Qs, actually three trades. First one got stopped out immediately. Second one paid, and then I took a third one that was a you know 1 DT. So this thing exploded. But if you look at it, where I got in and why I got in, first one did not work here. That was the weekly expected move to the downside. 510 immediately got stopped out. But the second one and the third one bought right here near 505, 503 right here. Last one was fantastic. Pretty much caught the bottom here off of this lower Bollinger Band, and especially you can see previous all-time high. Now that is a support 503. We came down, went back up, and it was getting really oversold. So we got that bounce, and now it's sitting at 507. So going into tomorrow's session, what we got here, we definitely need to acknowledge that we have a daily downtrend and possibly even a weekly downtrend right here on triple Q. So going into tomorrow's session, you can see things are getting a bit oversold, but we all know that things can actually stay oversold for a couple of days. That's possible. Now also keep that in mind, this was that previous all-time high. We got a multiple rejection. Even right here, we got some rejection. So that is going to act as a strong support. But if that gives up slowly, but this thing can come down to 492.88 to close this gap from election. Now, with that PPI and CPI, we get some good numbers. This market can go higher. And it all makes sense because things are getting a bit oversold. But it's not extremely oversold on longer time frame. These are just daily time frame, guys. I'm not talking about weekly. We talked about weekly time frame before where things were really overextended, and that is why we're getting that pullback. So are we going to see a big move tomorrow? I don't know. I think these data that are coming out on Tuesday and Wednesday, the bigger move you're going to see, especially I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly end of the week tomorrow we might see a lot of chop, maybe even a slightly green day before we get those data. And then from there, this market will make a decision to go higher from here or possibly come down with those catalysts and close this gap at 492.88. So, I'll just stay neutral for, at least tomorrow. And then depending on data, and yes, you heard me right, I'm data dependent here because I can say I'm bullish here, things are getting a bit oversold, but it doesn't matter because these data is going to come out pre-market and they're gonna do that pre-market thing where market can go higher 1-2% easily, or there's gonna be a dump off like we did on Friday. So me staying bullish or even expecting more downside does not really matter because of the data that is actually going to play a big role going into next week. So here on Qs, key line in the sand will be 503. Below that, this gap comes into play, 492 to the upside. Now there will be resistance at 513, 50-day moving average. If we can get over that, 516, and then we can talk about possibly going back up to 520 on triple Q. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing here on X. Is totally free. And you can always ask me a question if you have right here on X. And I'm going to share this fantastic swing trade idea right here in this video, guys. Right here, you can see back in 11/29, 2024, took this June 20th, 2025 SPY puts 555 strike, and this was a massive play. You can see right here on Friday, we actually took some profit finally on this play. So this was really nice and still holding half of my position. And with that being said, I do appreciate all of your support, but especially people that are really serious and looking to trade in real life, in real time. Definitely, it's worth every penny. Check out their link down below in the description for Patreon, guys. On SPY ETF, it's down 1.53%. So this one, I mean, it's really close to the gap. We can get a gap down early as tomorrow morning, Monday morning, and we can easily close this gap. And we might see a gap fill reversal from here. And that data can actually help out. And you can see, even after filling this gap, you can see right here, 574. That's also a strong level here on SPY. And below that, this thing can come down and possibly this is the level that we're all looking at. This was that weekly breakout, 564.65. We can possibly retest, but you can see lower Bollinger Band sitting at 577. So it cannot just come here, because if it does, definitely that's going to be a dip to buy, right here at 564. So going into tomorrow's session to the upside now, that's going to act as a resistance here big time. 586 weekly resistance right here, guys. Not only daily, weekly. Over 586, you're going to see a move up to possibly 590 to 594, 20-day and 50-day moving average. Now, why this trend is down on daily and even on weekly, you can see this white line 20-day moving average almost about to cross below 50-day, and that is not bullish, guys. You can see all these moving averages except the 50 are negative slope. So technically that is extremely bearish going into next week. Even the expected move, which I'm not going to put out here, I'm going to post those expected moves on my Discord. So if you remember, you will see that just after this video I'm going to post those expected weekly and daily moves here on the market early as tonight. So you're gonna see that expected move is extremely bearish for next week. Now sometimes we get these bullish expected moves, and then market takes a U-turn. Sometimes we get bearish moves on those expected moves, and market also goes up. So nothing is 100%, but you can see the trend remains down. All these moving averages remains down to the downside. And now, I mean, you can see 577 lower Bollinger Band and the gap right here. So it can fill this gap definitely this week and early as tomorrow morning. Now here, that is where bulls gotta show up, guys. 574 to 576, gap fill reversal and critical support right here. If this is where they do not show up, then expect more downside, possibly down to this weekly breakout retest 564. And like I said, to the upside now, there will be resistance at 586. If we can, get over that, then we can talk about possibly 594 to even 600. On Dow Jones is down 1.60%, and you can see this one also. I mean, this thing definitely signaling that Triple Q and SPY will definitely come down. And why? It's almost near this gap right here, guys. This 412 gap. And you can see lower Bollinger Band coming down is sitting almost at 416. So that is going to be your next line in the sand. It came down to 418, so it was almost there. 416, that's going to be your next line in the sand, lower Bollinger Band, and this critical support, previous high right here. Below that, you're going to see this gap getting filled right here, 412. Now to the upside, there will be resistance at 423. If we can clear that right here on Dow Jones, it can move higher up to 427, 430, and then 433. On IWM, it's down 2.20%. So this thing got decimated on Friday. As a matter of fact, gap down and go and never came back up to close this gap at 219. Now, you can see this clear bear flag playing out right in front of you. And why? Because we're not getting more rate cuts, at least this month and going into March. And now, if this inflation data that we're getting next week, if it's high, guess what? This thing can go down even more. This bear flag did not play out completely, so there is more downside. We still have this gap, 212. It can go there easily, possibly down to even 210. So this mini breakout or fake out to the upside did not actually hold, and now it's coming down and crashing again. So IWM, now there will be resistance at 218 to 219, gaffle reversal to the upside here. And if this thing can get over that, possibly we'll see a move up to 222, 225, 227, and then we can talk about 230. If this thing cannot actually stay over 218, 219, then expect more downside down to this gap. Next critical support 200, 12.78. Underneath that, 210. And I think for this week, that's gonna be it for IWM. If this thing comes down a bit more, it'll be staying around at 210 to 212. And to the upside, possibly can make a move back up to, I would say, 222 to maybe even 225 if the data is good. And only if that data is good, you're going to see IWM going back up to the upside. On VIX is up 8.14%. So this thing got over 20 on Friday, came back in and just under 20 into closing on Friday. So here on VIX, if this thing can get over 20 going into tomorrow's session or this week, stay over 20, it can definitely make a move up to 23 to 24 bucks right here. At least that is where upper Bollinger Band is sitting. So expect more upside on VIX over 20. Now, if this thing get crushed down and gets a rejection at 20, and gets crushed back down to 18, and that level gives up, you're going to see a dump off on VIX. And this mini uptrend will break on VIX if this thing actually gives up this $18 support and gets underneath that level. You're going to see downside on VIX down to possibly 15 bucks, and that's going to send this market even higher. And like I said, that all depends on that data, PPI and CPI, guys. So the dollar again, you can see even after our session is pushing higher, almost near 110. So if the dollar takes a back seat, comes back down to, I would say 109, maybe 108.50, that's going to trigger a rally in the market. Until then, if this thing, continues to move even higher, it's going to put a lot more pressure on S&P 500. Now, soon as we got the data on Friday, what happened here? I mean, look at this massive bullish engulfing candle right here on TNX. It was up near 2%. So this one also, I mean, you can see we even took out this high right here. And let me just put it right here, guys. You can see we even took out this high. So now, if we were to come back down, I think there will be strong support right here near 4.69 to even right here, maybe 4.66. That's going to be a strong level to watch if this thing comes back in and holds right here. And most likely it will hold right here. You can see a bunch of rejection here back and forth. And then we came down and it sold off. And now we're going back up. We broke out like a piece of cake and nothing was even there. And look at this massive green candle. So there should be some more follow through to the upside. Maybe we go back up to 5% again, and that's going to be insane for the market, because if this thing rises, market will continue to go down even more. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into Monday's session.